Good morning students. In today's topic we are going to discuss about My Vision for India was written by APJ Abdul Kalam. So before getting into the topic, we'll see the author note. We all known as Kalam as APJ Abdul Kalam, but his original name was Abul Pakir Shenalabdin Abdul Kalam. He was born in 15th October 1937 at Rameshwaram. His parents were Shenalabdin Marakkayar, Ashyamma Shenalabdin. His parents played a very crucial role in his life and his career and his education too. After school, he got his education in Madras Institute of Technology. He was an Indian aerospace scientist and President of India from 2002 to 2007. Apart from this, he had written books like English-Kovai, etc. He won the awards like Bharat Ratna, Veer Savarkar Award and Padma Vibhushan. He died at 27 July 2015 in Shillong. So now let's get to the topic, my vision for India. So everyone will have the vision for themselves. The vision will be about their life or their dreams or for their parents. In the same way, Abdul Kalam will have the vision for India. So he said that I have the three visions for India. He'll say one. We'll see one by one. He delivered this, my vision for India. He delivered this speech in IIT Hyderabad. He said that he had three visions for India, and he also said that he wants to educate people to understand their own responsibilities and they should work together to build our nation as a developed one. So everyone will play a major part in developing our nation. That is considered to be very, very important. And when we come to the first vision is freedom. Freedom is considered to be very, very important, as we all know that we got our freedom from 1947. So first vision is freedom. When we see back to our history, people from all over the world have come and invaded us, captured our land and conquered our minds. That is from Alexander onwards, Greeks, Turks, Mughals, Portuguese, British, everyone will came and looted us and took over what was ours. Yet we have not done to this any other nation. We have not conquered anyone and we have not grabbed their land and their culture. Because what is the reason India never invaded the other countries means because India respect other countries' freedom and their culture too. So India will never looted or never invaded the other countries' people. That point is considered to be very, very important. And when we see ourselves as a modern Indiana, we'll start the first war of independence in 1957. From that time also we'll see India as a developing nation and modern India too. Once we achieve our independence, but after that it should be protected and should be more developed into a better one. That is considered to be very, very important. So the first vision for India is freedom. And the second vision for India is the development. What Abdul Kalam said is that for 50 years we have been seeing India as a developing nation. It's still developing. But the time came to see ourselves as a developed nation. We have already developed. So Abdul Kalam says that we have to see ourselves as a developed nation. We are among the top 5 nations in the world turns nation. We have top 5 nations in the world in terms of GDP also. India's economy is expanding and the poverty rate is decreasing. 10% GDP is a positive sign. Indians, but what we failed to, we fail to see ourselves as a developed nation. We'll still believe that we are still developing. We fail to see ourselves as a developed nation. That is the Abdul Kalam major point. He asked them to see India as a developed nation. That is very, very important. And third vision for Abdul Kalam is strength. India should be strong not only militarily but also economically. The strength is considered to be very, very important because this is the third vision for India. India must be stand up to the world because until we believe that India stands up to the world, no one will respect us. Only strength respects strength. We must be strong not only as a military power but also economic power. So that strength should be very, very important. He shared some of his own experience while he is working with Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, Professor and Satish Dhawan. He shared that experience also. Apart from that, he highlighted the main point that media will focus only on the negative news, failures and disasters more than the achieved news. Media will focus only on the negative news. That is considered to be very, very wrong. We always exploit our country's flaws and overlook its strength. We fail to do that. This is the third vision for India. Strength is very, very important. So these are the three visions for India: freedom, development and strength. This is considered to be very, very important. These are the three visions where Abdul Kalam had dreamed for our developing nation: freedom, development and strength. These are the three visions for India. Apart from that, what Abdul Kalam says that Kalam laments our obsession with exotic objects. What are the mistakes committed by the people will be discussed by the Kalam. We have an insatiable appetite for foreign technology. Quite Indians and the other people also will have more attachment towards the foreign technologies and the foreign brands and the foreign clothes. Apart from that, we'll always blame our government. Once election is done, once our polling is enrolled, we don't look after what is happening in our country. We simply blame our government. Whatever happens, we'll blame the government. So we should stop doing that. We would never dare to throw a cigarette butts on the Singapore roadways, but we will do it as soon as we set foot on the Indian soil, because in India there were nobody to question us. So we once whatever the mistake will be committed by the Indians will be they have made the mistakes only by their lethargicness. But when the same person, when he is in the foreign countries or in the other countries, he has to follow that particular country's rules and responsibilities. When he aware about the responsibilities and his role in foreign countries, why he did not aware that in India? Because in India nobody will question them. That is very, very bad. Even though once a person is questioning or not, he should have his own responsibilities and role. That is what Abdul Kalam wants to convey to us. That is what he is asking also. If we can be responsible citizens in another country, why cannot we do to the same in India for our nation? That is very, very important. And he also said that once he is giving his speech or lecture in some other colleges, a little girl came and asked his autograph. After that, Abdul Kalam will ask the girl, what is your dream? The girl said that I want to live in a developed nation. So that made Abdul Kalam to think, for that girl and for our future children, we have to build our developed nation. That is very, very important. And as the people should know their roles and responsibilities as an Indian citizen. A shift in perspective is required. So everything is blamed on the government. Everyone will blame the government. But what is the change we have taken to improve that particular area? What is the change we have made ourselves to change that? That is very, very important. A shift in perspective is required. And he also said that everybody is out to abuse and blame the country. Nobody thinks of feeding the system. Our conscience is motivated to money. Everybody will focus only on the money alone. Nobody will focus what we are able to do for our country. That is very, very bad for ourselves. Apart from that, the main point which is to be noted is that sometimes people will behave like a cowards. When they have some problem in India, they left to foreign countries. In there also, when they have some problem in America, they'll flee to New York. And when some problem happened in New York, they'll flee to England. That when something happens to England, they'll flee to Gulf. So they were changing, and they were running behind their problems. They are not able to face it with their own stand. They're facing their problems or how to bring a change in it is very, very important. So without that, a country cannot become as a developed nation. That is very, very important. And at last, Abdul Kalam said that this article or this speech is highly thoughtful and injective. As he also said that, concluded with the JF Kennedy's words, ask what we can do for India and do what has to be done to make India what America and other Western countries are today. I repeat, ask what we can do for India and do what has to be done to make India what America and other Western countries are today. So he said that a change is very, very needed. A shift in perspective is also required. Without a change, nothing will be happen. The change is very, very important. Rather of winning, individuals should actively engage in the development process by fixing their own difficulties. To build India as a developed nation, everyone, that is each and every individual, should have their own responsibilities and own roles to play or to bring India as a developed nation. Every individual is responsible for the citizen. Not only government will be responsible to build a developed nation, everyone will need or he or she have to play their role to make India as a developed nation. That is considered to be very, very important. And apart from that, lastly, Abdul Kalam said that let's do what India needs from us. Till now, we'll get everything from India, everything from our government, but we didn't do anything to the government. So let's do what India needs from us. These are the three visions of India. Abdul Kalam have dreamed for our country to become a developed nation. These three visions for India is considered to be very, very important. Without one, the other two is not possible. So these three visions have to be go hand in hand. My vision for India is considered for the freedom, strength and development. These are the Abdul Kalam's vision for India. Thank you all.